Okay, we are recording. Thank you guys so much for being on tonight. Today, we are going to talk about posting and how it pertains to coaching and why it's important. And I just have jotted down some notes about what I do and why I do what I do, just to kind of go through that with you guys. And hopefully, I know some of this is not going to be new content for you, because we all know that posting is important for coaches to do. But I hope at least you will find like one little nugget that you can take away and start using in your own business. All right, so first of all, I just want to talk about myself for a second and posting and how I felt as a new coach with posting. And I remember feeling like going through the trainings, the new coach trainings, that, they tell you, oh, you need to try to post this many times every day and that type of thing. And it kind of stressed me out. Like I just didn't even know where to start. I wasn't sure what to say or when to post or anything like that. And so it was this thing that I had to do every day, and I knew I needed to do it and be consistent, but it was like I just didn't even know where to start with it, and it felt like another thing instead of something natural that kind of flowed throughout my day and with my business. It felt like another thing, like another task to complete on top of everything else. And so I would find myself kind of like, oh man, I really need to post something, and just throw up a post here or there that really maybe wasn't all of that great or valuable for people, because it was, like I said, just kind of a task instead of something that flowed naturally for me as a coach. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I've done and how I've changed that throughout the last couple of years to become something that is a lot more natural for me and is a comfortable thing, and it just kind of flows throughout my day. So I'm going to tell you how I do that. But first of all, why do we post as coaches, and why is it important? The first thing is that you want to stay relevant in people's news feeds. You want to be popping up regularly in people's news feeds so that they're seeing your content. And then the other thing is that you really want, you want to sprinkle in posts throughout the day so that when someone is finally ready to make a change, when they finally have hit that point where they're like, I've got to do something. I know I was there personally before I became a coach as a challenger. I got to this point where I was like, dude, I have got to do something and I need help. And the person that I thought of first was my coach. And so that's why posting is important, because when someone that you know and love in your friend list hits that point, they need to think of you. You need to be the person that they think of whenever it's time and they're ready to start their journey. So that's why it's important. All right, so I'm going to talk about the how, the what, about planning, and about consistency. So those are the 4 things I'm going to share about. And basically, I just have some bullet points of different things I want to talk to you about. So the how, the what, planning, and consistency, just in case you want to take any type of notes. So number 1 is the how. There are lots of different ways to go about posting on Facebook. You can post videos, and I mean, this is probably the same for Instagram too, but I'm primarily talking about Facebook because that's what I do. I have not gotten outside that realm very much. But anyway, so you can post videos, you can post pictures, you can post quotes, you can post just plain text. But in terms of being relevant in people's news feeds and being getting the most likes on your posts, videos and pictures of yourself are what's going to show up the most, or first, I guess I would say. They have, what's that word? They have better traction. What is it, Jillian? Can you unmute yourself? What's the word?
You're providing more value, and you want something that stops people's eyes, because anybody can post like Beachbody products and whatever, but you want something that, one, represents you and is eye-stopping.
Right. And so videos are going to catch people's attention more. Pictures of you or of your pictures that you are taking are going to catch people's eye. And they have more, I don't know what the right word is, but they have more, the word isn't coming to me. Like in a Facebook news feed. They're going to be higher in the news feed than just a picture of a quote or just text. So that's important to consider. But how? What you need to do is you need to show your real life. You need to show the good. You need to show the bad. You need to show everything in between. You need to be a real person. Okay? This was something I was really bad at in the beginning. I showed everybody all the rainbows and sunshine, and I didn't show people that I'm a real person, and this is how I do it day to day. So what your goal is just to show your real life and to add value to people's lives, right? That's always a good check. Is this adding value to someone's life right now if I post this? You're taking snapshots of your day, literally. Like you go through your day, you take a few snapshots, and then that's what you post. And I think, and this was me for a long time, I had a lot of misconceptions when it came to posting about the timing, about the content, and that type of thing. This is something that I found myself doing. Every single time I posted, I felt like I had to write a short novel. And that's a misconception. You don't have to do that. Okay, you can pop up a quick post that gives a lot of value or makes someone kind of think without having to make it this long story. And that's something I'm still working on. I think I express myself best through writing. And so I find myself writing these really long posts, and I kind of have to pull the reins back a little bit. Be like, Kristen, every post doesn't need to be 10 paragraphs long, right? Because I've watched actually kind of studied people scrolling through their news feeds. I've watched my husband, and if it's a long post, he's like, whoop, 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 flips right through it. He does not want to take the time to read all that. So just bear that in mind, that it's good every once in a while to really go in depth and share that kind of stuff, but it's not something you need to do every single time you post. So that's the how. Videos, pictures, those are always going to be better than just text or quotes, that type of thing. And now I'm not saying don't do it ever, but that's just kind of a rule of thumb. Show your real life. Add value to people's lives with what you're sharing. Make them think, wow, if this is her life and she can do it, then so can I, right? So you're taking snapshots. All right, the what. So you need to take a step back for a second if you haven't done this already, and you need to really define your brand, what it is that you stand for as a person, okay? On my fitness page, if you go to my fitness page, the cover photo actually has the things up at the top listed out that I feel like I stand for. The things that if you come to my page, that's what you're going to see. And that's the type of content I'm going to be posting. Faith, family, healthy living, motivation, and balance. Those are the things that I try to post to, because those are the things that are important to me in my life. And ultimately, I want to attract people that are like me, right? Some of you might have really awesome hobbies. I don't. I don't think I do. Maybe you like DIY stuff, or maybe you are really good at, I don't know, gardening or something, or farming. But, okay, Daniel, thanks. But if that's you, then you share about that too, because you're going to then attract people that are like-minded, right? So brand yourself. Figure out what you stand for. And when you have a fitness page, if someone goes to your fitness page, they should pretty quickly be able to tell somehow what type of content that you will be posting. That's why on my cover photo up at the top, across the top, I have those things listed, because I want people to know when they come see me in my page, this is what they're getting, okay? So brand yourself. And then like I said before, you need to take snapshots of your day. And it literally just needs to be 3 or 4 things throughout your day that pertain to you in your life and that you can use to somehow add value to people's lives. All right, so the planning. This is so huge. And you guys, I'm 2 years into this and I still suck at it sometimes. I'm getting better, and that's why I'm talking about this very topic tonight, because planning out your posts and being somewhat prepared for the week helps so much. I posted a video in Tara's team page, and I also posted the link in our page of a quick video I popped in and did on this very topic. And if you haven't seen it, please do watch it, because it really I think it could really help all of us if we implement it. But basically the idea is that when you're planning out your post and you're taking these snapshots of your day, get a day ahead of yourself. So today I did day 10 of the Country Heat workout program, but I actually posted today as if it was day 9 because I took my pictures yesterday and then I had time to think about how I wanted to post them and was able to plan that out and post them today instead. So I will post tomorrow as if it was day 10, even though really today was day 10. And the thing about it is that when we are planning out these posts, if we take the pictures and save them and create the content and then post them for the next day or the next day, then you're not stopping what you're doing. You're not stopping your life in that moment and taking the picture and then taking 15 minutes to type something out and post it. Like, you don't want to stop your life just to create posts on Facebook for this coaching thing. This coaching thing is supposed to add value to your life. It's supposed to, it's supposed to add value to your life. It's not supposed to take away from your life, take away from your family, take away from whatever activity you are doing. Like, I post a lot about my kids. So if I take a picture of whatever it is they're doing and then go and post it right away, that's taking away from my time with my kids, and that's not the point. You know what I mean? We need to share about that kind of stuff, but we don't want to be taking away from that kind of stuff. Did you want to say something? Is it just me and you? Hang on. Let's see. I don't know why it's showing you now and not me. Who knows? Anyway, we'll just do this. So,
Kristen, on the recording, it still shows you. I think it's just because you're looking at me.
Okay.
You're good still.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, so where was I lost my train of thought. You don't want to stop what you're doing in life at that moment to just go post something on Facebook. You don't want to be taking away from your life. You want to be adding to it with coaching. And so planning a day or getting a day ahead of yourself and posting about yesterday as if it is now to give your followers you give them the feel that you're posting in the moment, but you're not actually posting in the moment. You can take those pictures from that day and kind of think about it that evening and type out some content in the notes section of your phone or something and then post it the next day so that you're not stopping your tracks in the middle of life to post. So get ahead of yourself a day or behind yourself, however you want to say that. Another thing to consider is a posting schedule. So I have one made up. Basically, I took the categories that I want people to, the things that I have branded myself as, broken them down into throughout the week so that I have like a good balance of the different types of posts every day throughout the week. So I take those 5 things and sprinkle them throughout the week so that they're all kind of in balance. And when someone comes to my page, they're getting a good balance of what the type of content I'm posting. I hope that makes sense. Okay, next thing. So in the National Wake Up Call this week, I loved this analogy that the chick Megan made. She talked about how the vital behaviors in our business, she broke them down into containers, almost like the Portion Fix containers, and had certain goals to meet every day in terms of the different vital behaviors, which is kind of what we have with like the Power of Threes or whatever. But she broke it down and had like a checklist for herself every day of the different vital behaviors, like her goals for each day. And I thought, you know what? You could almost do this for posting too. Kind of like making out that schedule. You have your portion fix and your Portion Fix containers, and you know when we follow them to a T, how good the results are, right? So if you made something like that for yourself in terms of posting and had a goal to meet every day, then you would be more on target, I think. We all would be, not just you, we. But just know that that's a goal, and we, like just with our Portion Fix containers, we don't always meet those goals, and that's okay. We don't have to be perfect, but we do have to try our best. Another thing you can consider in terms of planning is the monthly cycles of the way our month is laid out. So on our team calendar, I have on every Sunday listed like a weekly, I forget what I call it, like a weekly, I can't remember, but basically kind of what you should be thinking about and posting for that week. And it's always like a week or two ahead of the actual event. So I will say, you know, like the first week of the month, we're posting about challenge groups and transformations and how great our products are. And then the week before our sneak peek into coaching call, we're focusing more on talking about coaching and how amazing it is and how it's changed our lives and how, you know, even an invite. The week before our free groups, we're talking more about like whatever that topic is. If it's a clean eating group, we talk more about the clean eating. We talk more about Shakeology, whatever it is, whatever your clean eating group is. So you kind of go in a monthly cycle. And I know I've heard Tara and Micah both talk about this, how they kind of go through cycles like that every week or every month, where they're recruiting to their next challenge group for so many days or weeks, and then they shift focus and they recruit to the team. Then they shift focus and, you know, and they kind of go in cycles like that throughout the month. So that's another thing to be thinking about, is your monthly cycle, not your menstrual cycle, but your monthly cycle, and focusing more in those weeks on those different types of content, I guess you would say. Okay, one more thing with planning out your posts is to identify different voids in your day. So let me give you an example. At 2:45 every day, I have to go pick up my daughter from school, and I have to sit in the pickup line, and it's wasted time. Like, it drives me crazy because I hate wasting time, but I'm just sitting there in my car and like basically with nothing to do except listen to the radio or something. So what I've started doing is creating a post at that moment. And I've only been doing this for like the past week, but if you go to my fitness page, you'll see it. And it's basically, it's a text. It's just words, but it's like, real life right here, ... And I just share something about real life. Like today I shared that sometimes I feel like Supermom and sometimes I feel like a momster. And yesterday I felt like a supermom, and today I feel like a tired momster. And I don't know. I can't remember what else they said, but just something real life. Yesterday, I posted about how I was in the pickup line, and I really love looking halfway put together when I go out in public, but I also really love to be comfy. And so I was like put together up here, but then I had my husband's Crocs on because nobody could see my feet. Like just real life stuff like that people can identify with. So I found a void in my day that I wasn't really utilizing, and I made it productive, I guess you could say. So find voids in your day like that where there are little pockets of time that you could really quickly make a post. And the other thing I have to say about that is if you look at my page, I try to be, you know, some days are better than others, but I try to be pretty consistent about the types of stuff I'm posting. So if you look at my page early in the morning, I'm almost always posting about some type of personal development, because I take whatever personal development I'm reading, like from a daily devotional or a book that I'm reading, I take my takeaway from that personal development, and that's what I post first thing in the morning. So if you looked at my page, almost every day, first thing in the morning, my first post is some type of personal development, okay? Then as the day goes on, you'll see that like 2:45, 3 o'clock time is my real life post where I'm talking real life talk. And then you'll always see a post about my fitness routine and something like what type of workout I did or how I intertwined it into my day or something like that. So find a groove for yourself, okay? So if you have a routine like that and you can weave what you're doing in life into your posting, then you kind of find a groove and you just continue with it every day, and it makes posting 3 or 4 or 5 times a day not so difficult, because we are all sitting down and doing personal development. why not take a point away from what you read and share it with the world and help them out a little bit, you know? So find a groove. All right, last thing I wanted to talk to you about was consistency. So I'm going to be really honest with you. When I first started coaching and they were like, post 3 or 4 times a day, I was like, I can't do that. I just can't. Like, and I very honestly took coaching in the beginning very, very slowly. Like when they said you have a power hour, I did 1 hour and then I was done. And it's grown since there because my goals have changed and my goals have changed. So I've really found that they're right. You know, come find out they're right. You got to post more than once a day. But anyway, consistency. You got to find a groove, like I was just saying. You need to be consistent as much as possible. A lot of us have read the book Compound Effect or Slight Edge. Those books talk about the power of consistency. And when you just chip away little by little every day, even if it's in small things, after a while, it makes a huge difference. And that consistency is so vital. And what I talked about in the very beginning with our why we do posting, because we have to stay relevant in people's feeds. People have to think of us when they're finally ready to make a change. They have to be thinking, Kristen can help me, or Jillian can help me, or whoever it is, because you are consistent and you show up and you show them that even when it gets hard, you are still there. And even when you don't want to work out, you still do. And when you're consistent over time, people see, okay, this girl is the real deal. Like she isn't, this just isn't like some little fad that she's doing and it's going to be done within 6 months. If I sign up with her, she really is going to be there to help me and she really is going to stay around for the long haul. You know, being consistent is so important because it proves to people that you are the real deal. You're not going anywhere. Okay. So I cannot stress enough how important it is. And honestly, if I can't get in my power hour, if I can't get in my workout, I'm still posting because that at least keeps me relevant to people, right? That like if I have the busiest day of my life and I am not able to do those other really super important coaching things, I'm consistent. I try to be as consistent as possible with my posting because when you're not, you lose traction. So, and the other thing is that you need to have eyes on your page all the time. You need to be getting new eyes on your page. And the only way you do that is if you're consistent. You cannot run a like page and post on it once a week or even once a day and expect people to be coming to your page. It just doesn't work like that. All right, so last thing I'm going to talk about is timing and likes. So I talked a little bit earlier about one misconception that I had with posting. And in the beginning, when I first started as a coach, I was so consumed with how many likes I was going to get and what was the best time to post. And it just consumed me so much and I overthought it so much. And I really just want to stress to you guys that it's not all about that, because we all know there are plenty of Facebook lurkers and stalkers out there that don't like or comment on anything, but they're watching everything we do. I used to be one. I know I was. Like I would scroll through my feed. I would literally take my phone, sit down on Facebook, scroll through my feed until I saw the post that I had seen last time. So I would see every single thing in my feed, but I would just look. I didn't do anything else with it. So know that no matter what you're posting, people are seeing it. Even if it gets 1 like or no likes, people are seeing it. I have people all the time that message me or I see out in public and they're like, oh, I saw that one post. It was hilarious. Or they'll message me and say, hey, I really think I need some help. I've seen your post. And I'm like, what? Like I've never once seen that person comment on anything or like anything, but they're watching. They really, truly are watching. So just bear that in mind. It's not all about the likes. It's really not. And, you know, the bottom line is we're trying to provide value for people's lives. So as long as we're blessing people's lives with the content that we're sharing, then the likes really don't matter. You know, like if somebody gets their eyes on one of your posts and it helps them that day, then who cares how many likes that it gets? You know what I mean? The other thing is about timing. So we all know that with posting, if you want to get the most traction in terms of most eyes on your posts, then like this time of the night is probably the best time to do it. Well, for us, like 8-ish, 9-ish, something like that, because that's when most people are putting their kids to bed and are sitting down to kind of relax for the evening. Weekends kind of stink, you know, or they're hit and miss kind of, but I used to be so consumed with timing, and I have to create this amazing post, and I have to post it the exact right time so that most people can see it. And I do think that timing is really important in terms of your call to action posts. Posts where you're inviting people to the next group, or you're sharing about an upcoming event we have, or you know, the health that we have going on right now. If you're sharing about that, timing is really important, especially if you don't have an actual like page yet. If you're posting from your personal page and it's not a post that you can then boost, posting about with your call to action post, it is really important to be cognizant of the timing. But with all that being said, don't overthink it. You know, kind of plan out your posts, get a day ahead of yourself, and sprinkle them in throughout the day. One in the morning, one around lunchtime, one mid-afternoon, one in the evening. And don't worry so much about the timing, because the thing is, especially on a like page versus a personal page, especially on a like page, if you're posting and you're sprinkling those throughout the day, you're kind of catching different audiences throughout the day, because different audiences are going to be looking at Facebook at different times. But the thing is if and when your page catches someone's eye, it won't matter what time you're posting, because, and I know you've done this because I know I've done this, you find a page you like and then you scroll back to like November, right? Because you're looking through all their posts. So it doesn't matter the timing. If someone comes across your page and they like what you've been posting, they're going to start scrolling. Or this will happen to you. Like, one person will like 50 of your posts and it'll go back all the way to last year, and you're like, oh dang, she's looking through my whole page. You know, in that sense, the timing doesn't matter so much of the actual posting, because your page has caught their eye and now they're going back to see what you've been doing, what you've been talking about. So just that goes back to being consistent. You've got to be consistent in sharing every day. And I meant to say this earlier, but I post really regularly during the week. I post about half as much on the weekend. And that's kind of intentional for two reasons. Number one, I am busier on the weekend, and I want to somewhat enjoy an actual weekend with my family. And number two, I want people to see that, like, it isn't always work. Like, I want them to see what I'm doing and think I could do this too, you know? And so we're like doing a ton of that kind of stuff on the weekend. I don't know. I just don't want to, maybe you're not like me. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. So anyway, I totally digress there. Just goes back to being consistent. You just have to be consistent. And so that when you are consistent, people come across your page, they can see what you've been doing, okay? So that's kind of what I have on posting. I know that was like totally like everywhere, but I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you guys can take at least one little nugget away from this and implement it in your business. Jill, before we end, do you have anything to say? Can you mute yourself?
I just had a couple things to add on to what you had already said. I had someone message me the other day, a coach messaged me the other day, and they said, she was worried because she didn't think people, when she was messaging people, they weren't getting across that she was a coach, and she didn't know how to get that across. And so I said, well, are you posting about it? And she said, yeah, when I'm doing it. So I went and looked at her page, and she had maybe 3 posts a week on there. And so I messaged her and I said, are you being, and I'm asking everybody this, and even myself, when you're posting, like Kristen said, when you first start, you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to post so much and I have to do this. And it almost feels unnatural, but I have to ask myself this, and I asked her, are you being a product of the product? If you are, posting should not be that difficult, because it's no different than saying, I went to the grocery store and I saw someone hit a grocery cart, or whatever you have going on in your life, because being a product of the product is your life. So if you're struggling on things to post, or things that you don't have enough, you don't feel like you have enough to post about, if you're being a product of the product, that's 3 posts a day. Personal development. And I'm the same as Kristen. If you look at my page, I post the exact same order because that's what I'm doing that day. I wake up, I do my personal development, I give people a little snippet of that. I do my workout, so I share a little bit of that, either my video, or how I didn't like it, or my move of the day, and then I talk about my Shakeology or Energize or whatever product I'm using that day. So if you're being a product of the product, posting should be simple. The hard part about it is being vulnerable and sharing that and taking selfies and whatever. So if you're having a hard time finding content to post, are you truly being a product of the product? Because if it's not, if you're having a hard time, it could be that. Another thing was, when you are posting, Kristen talked a lot about this, but you need to be intentional. Don't just post random stuff. When you're getting ready to post, be very intentional about what you're posting. Think of who you're posting to. I always have a target that I'm thinking of that week. So I'll think, okay, I am wanting to target, I have some friends I know that just got back from vacation, so I'm going to talk in my posts about getting back from vacation and jumping back on. So be intentional with your posts. Be very intentional. Don't just throw random stuff out there. You could put a theme with your posts, even take it a step further. It's not just challenge group this month. It's challenge group for people who are coming home from vacation, or people getting ready for fall, or people. So be intentional with your posts. And then another one to add about getting the likes and everything. You shouldn't focus on the likes, because there is so many people. I want 90% of our team, I go through and see their stuff and I don't like it. And I should, because I should be supporting you. But I'm saying a lot of people are watching. They're watching. They might not be. And I can always tell when someone's about to message me, because all of a sudden for a week, they'll start liking my posts. And I know they've been watching me. So, but if you want to get in the news feed, Kristen talked about this a little bit. You can do other things that don't have to do fitness related. Like you can, if you do things like A or B, if you say, I'm trying to find some new shoes, should I do A or B? The more comments you get on that and the more likes you get on a post like that, that's just simple. And people love to give their opinion on stuff. They love to tell you how they feel. Facebook will put your stuff in the news feed. It becomes more relevant. They see, oh, she's getting more stuff, so you'll hit the news feed a little bit more. So if you're having a lull in your post, maybe throw something out there like that. A or B, or, which dress should I wear? What's your favorite vegetable? Something that gets people talking that has, nothing to do with coaching or makes them feel like they are being vulnerable, just lighthearted. So I think that's it. Just making sure you're a product of the product is the biggest thing, because posting should be so easy. If you just share what you're doing. And I love Kristen's idea about sharing the next day. I'm not there yet in life, but it's a good idea. That's all I have. Just to piggyback on everything that you said, that's all I have.
Thank you. Yeah, that was good. I totally agree with you. I think I heard Stacy say something very similar one time. If you're living the life, then you take a couple pictures throughout your day and you share it, and it's that easy. If you're living the life, it's easy, right? And
even if you're having a hard time, it's the same thing as the weekends. I don't post on the weekends either, because I don't want to intimidate people and think that I'm not a real person. I'm a machine. That that's great if you can post through the weekends, but I want people to feel at ease and know that you can have a balanced lifestyle. But even if you're having a hard time, like right now, I'm having, I have my dad's in the ICU. And so I don't have a lot to post right now because I don't want to talk about it. But I had a snack of grapes in a purple container. I posted that. That's getting value out there. I had my Energize to muscle me through a workout I didn't want to do. That's getting value out there. So even when you don't want to post and you don't really feel like you have something to post to people, post anyways. Whatever it is, something as small as Energize or your grapes container or a random quote that you find. Just be consistent and like I said, I want you to have quality, but just be consistent and post about the little tiny things that you're at least trying to do that day. And they'll feel that too. Like I'm squeaking by, but at least you're seeing the little things that I'm doing that are good throughout that day, and even the bad.
Exactly. Awesome. All right. Well, we're about to run out of time, so let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a good night. Bye.